We have a special treat for you this morning. We have a premiere to offer to you of a new arrangement by David Miller on the hymn to Brahma and Twameva Mata. And as you can see, it involves a gong, keyboard, and a computer soundtrack as well. So this is our first premiere in this environment, so wish us luck with all the technical aspects. So it's about an 8-minute piece, so hope you enjoy.
Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you all. Welcome to Sunday service. For those who don't know us, my name is Nayaswami Daiva, and this is my wife, Nayaswami Gangamata. And it's our privilege to be here with you all today. Sunday services are usually a period of exhortation, of inspiration, of encouragement. Today I'd like to spend a few minutes of just recognition and appreciation. These line of spiritual masters that you see represented up here, they came in part to bring to this world, I'd say exclusively, they came to bring to this world a different pattern of life, to help us understand what it takes to live a life that fulfills the yearnings of our heart. That Yogananda said, noted, that everybody is looking for the same thing. We are all looking for joy. We're all looking for that profound fulfillment that we intuitively know belongs to us. And we're all looking in different places, which is how you get the variety that you see. And all of us have a common experience. To the degree that we're not looking inside in meditation, we all have a common experience, and that is that the bag in which we place all of our hopes, all of our aspirations, all of our dreams for fulfillment, we will find empty at the end of the exercise. Every single one of us. And it really doesn't matter what it is. And this is not bad news. This is just news. This is just information. This is just simply how it really works. You know, woven into the dream of life, into creation, is this thought that externally we will find what we seek. And the allures are many. The fundamental driving force is to reclaim the territory of joy and love, of wisdom, of peace and calmness, of power, of light and sound, of joy. Every one of us gets up in the morning determined with all of our being that today we will find it. And we spend our day rearranging the surface pieces of life to accomplish just that. And at the end of the day, how many of us, if we're sincere and honest with ourselves, at the end of the day, feel like, damn, we got there. This was it. Now I can finally rest. And even if you have that momentary thing, I guarantee that by morning, it will have moved. It will have shifted somehow in a way that we have to kind of try and readjust it. And the masters come. They come to tell us that we will never, ever, ever find what we're looking for externally. And they never say that we should not be engaged dynamically in this dream. God is dreaming this through us, and we need to play our role. We need to be fully engaged in it. But there's a difference between somebody who's a yogi, somebody who's awake in their understanding of how life really is, and people who are not yet there. And that difference is people who are not yet aware of how it works are constantly seeking fulfillment from the world, whereas those who know seek fulfillment inside where it can be found and then express that out into the world. And so it looks the same. In Zen they say, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. We get up and do the same thing. I mean, you can't tell a whole lot the difference between a saint and a non-saint in terms of, they still put their pants on the same way, they still go through the same motions. But the consciousness is 180 degrees different. This last week has been a remarkable week. The pattern of life that these great souls and Swami Kriyananda have brought into this world is a pattern of life of deep meditation and service, of the willingness to be engaged in life. Nishkam karma, they call it in the Bhagavad Gita. It is service without the desire for the fruits of the service that you provide. And basically what it is it's opening your life to do what's in front of you, to do what's next, to allow the energy to flow unimpeded by the thoughts of, what do I get out of it? Because in that flow of energy, in that flow of life, we are self-forgetful and we experience increasingly the presence of spirit. And then we take that inside. When I came to the path, I came and I got a lot of energy, and I came and they asked me to be a builder, and I was a builder, and we were building 80 hours a week and living in the ashram and doing ashram duties and trying to maintain a 3-hour-a-day meditation practice. And I was just, oh my God. And I wrote Swami Kriyananda and I said, sir, what is this? And in fact, when I got there, it was during a shift in Ananda's pattern of life, where it was kind of going from village to global outreach. And they used to say to me, oh, don't worry, it slows down when winter comes. Because it used to, the roads would get muddy and there wasn't the same kind of communication capacities and stuff, and things would slow down. Winter has never come. In 30 years of being on the path, winter has never come. It just has gotten more and more dynamic and engaging. And so I wrote him and I said, sir, what is this? And he said, God gives us much to do so that we raise our energy up, so that this energy can flow through us, so that when we sit in meditation, we have something to offer. And so I've been playing with that, trying to understand it more and more deeply across these 30 years. There possibly is a switch that gets flipped in spiritual practice and meditation when we have done enough spiritual work where there's a moment of realization that kind of is a whole nother octave. And maybe we launch straight into, in fact, Yogananda writes about it in the autobiography of a yogi. We launch into the infinite. But my experience is that all along the way, there are incremental awakenings, incremental realizations that are profound, but not the final one. And I've watched across these 30 years, time after time after time, when I have tried to really follow the pattern of life that they've offered, really engage in life dynamically, that something has shifted and my experience of life has become more profound, more dynamic. Swami Kriyananda, expressing the thoughts of these masters, said, you can define maturity, and especially spiritual maturity, as the capacity to embrace a broader reality than just the one contained by your body and mind. And I've watched how the pattern of life that they've offered makes possible that increasing, expanded perception and experience of spirit. And as the one heartthrob that beats in all hearts, as the one thought form, the one yearning that carries all of us forward despite all the variety. Yogananda spoke of the need of this time. If we want to live, if we want to find that fulfillment at the end of the day, if we want to be of the few who at the end of the day go, that was it. This filled the cup. This was what was worth living for. We have to use the tools that we're given to have that experience. And the tools that they give, outwardly it's service, outwardly it's satsang, friendship, coming together regularly. Inwardly it's meditation. And they said, this is a busy time. This is a time of intense activity. And so people will need extra help. We need to give them some really effective techniques of meditation so they can go into stillness quickly. This is not a time for ashram life of spending, all day long in yoga postures or in, this world needs the power of people who can dip into the consciousness of spirit and then carry that out into daily life. And what I've seen this week is I've seen the fulfillment of that opportunity in countless ways. You heard the choir present hymn to Brahma and Tvameva Mata. It's a marvelous moment because what you're seeing is actually an expression of just what they're trying to bring. You're seeing something that's usually very personal and very intimate. Those are invocations to spirit that are usually done by a person in deep meditation by themselves on a harmonium, preparing themselves for deep meditation. And what they did was they choreographed it so that a whole group of people could bring their individual vibrations and blend them in that invocation. And you could feel the power of it. And if you think you felt the power of it out there, you should have been up here, because it's infinitely more powerful when it comes through you. In addition then, and that was the culmination of a week of music, of attunement, and going deeper and deeper, using the power of sound, which is one of the expressions of spirit, to awaken the experience of spirit, to help carry people into the eternal now, into the presence of God that's always there. And then we did yesterday, actually Friday night? Yeah, Friday night. Was an all-night kirtan. People chanting devotionally all night long for no other reason than to lift their consciousness up and help put them in the presence of spirit. And then that was followed by a day of service and creativity and friendship and just nishkam karma all day long yesterday. And today, Sunday service, we come back together in worship, in remembrance, in celebration. And this afternoon, there's a chance to go out and have a picnic together, and again, a different kind of satsang. And what people find in these weeks, in these moments, is you go, yeah, this is it. And it's not because the details are it, but because they awaken within us the memory that God is always, always, always there. But we have to turn our attention that direction. And today I just want to celebrate all that's going on, all the magic and miracle that is Ananda, and how it radiates beyond the walls of this building and all the places that we have out into the lives and the workplaces and the social contacts that all of us, all of you, all of Ananda makes as we go about our days then, allowing this to flow through into the greater world and the difference that it makes in this world. I'd like to close the service today with a reading from Whispers from Eternity. This is an early version. We usually read from the one that was refined by Swami Kriyananda, but I happen to be, on this one particular poem, I happen to be stuck in the mud. I like this version. It's a little less, it's a little more poetic license in it. And it just speaks of the process that we all go through to try and reclaim that inner kingdom, to try and remember and experience the eternal now. And as we do this, I would like to just encourage everybody in here to take just a moment and think about, what are the things in your consciousness that you resent? What are the things in your consciousness that you wish were different? If only he hadn't behaved like that, if only this had been... You will never adjust the world in such a way that you can feel the presence of God, ever. But you can always adjust your own point of reference, your own place of attention, always, under every condition. And as Christ said, and every master has echoed, seek first the kingdom of God, find God, and everything else comes. Everything else comes. Put away the pettiness. Put away the resentments and the attachments and the wishing and the yearning. Oh, if my body were different, my age were different, my kids were different, the guy on the dais was different. If only everything was different, then I could be happy. Put it away. Be happy now. Listen and feel for the presence of God inside, and listen to these words. Alone I roamed the ocean's shore and watched the wrestling waves and brawling roar. Alive with thine own restless life, thine angry mood and ripply quiver, until thy wrathful vastness made me shiver and turn away from nature's heated strife. And then a kindly spreading sentinel tree waved friendly arms to comfort me, consoling me with gentler look sublime. Its swaying leaves in tender lullaby rhyme, singing a message that I knew was thine. I saw the gaugeless mystic sky, and childlike in the valley dim, I sought to pry at thee and to play with thee. But in vain I sought thy body hiding there, cloud-robed, foam-sprayed, leaf-garlanded, too rare for mortal eyes to see or ears to hear. And yet I knew that thou wert always near, as if to play at hide-and-seek with me, receding when I almost touched thee, groping to find thee through the maddening fold of ignorant darkness, old as time is old. At last, I ceased my search in dim despair, my search for thee, O thou royal sly eluder, everywhere, yet seeming nowhere, lost in unplumbed space, where none may clasp thee or behold thy face. In haste I ceased my fruitless search and hide away from thee. Still no answer from the wrathful sea, and only whispers from the friendly tree. Just silence from the limitless blue sky, silence from valley low and mountain high. Like a hurt child, within the depths of me I hid and sulked, no longer seeking thee, when lo, unheralded some unseen hand suddenly snatched away the all-black band that had so blinded me with fold on fold. No longer weary, filled with strength untold, I stood and watched again a laughing sea instead of wrathful roars, a gay, glad world with mystically opened doors. With only mists of dreams between, someone beside me stood unseen and whispered to me cool and clear, "Hello, playmate, I am here." Take a moment of silence.
We have Ramesha and Bhagavati with us this whole week, and we'd like to now offer invocation.